for our viewing area. So how big does it expand? We'll have to watch, but it does look like they're going to be issuing a tornado watch. I'm not exactly sure how long the tornado watch will last, but it does look like the SPC is currently talking about doing that, and will do so probably very shortly. So you're going to get that coming up, obviously, because we are starting to see a lot of these tornadoes kind of spawn across the area. All right, here we go. There is now a new tornado warning out there, and this one is for, and again, this one's a little bit further down the road, so heading westbound. As soon as you get to Gross Tate, just before you head across the basin, before you get across Whiskey Bridge, and you're talking tornado warning right now until 3 p.m. So that's for another half hour out there. And obviously the areas of utmost importance, that's the Rosedale area, about 2:35. We're talking Maringouin about 2:45. So a little bit later, I said Rosedale, 2:35. Excuse me, let me repeat that. Rosedale, 2:35. Rama, 2:40. Maringouin at about 2:45, Livonia at about 2:55. For Doshin, Lottie, we're coming in at about 3 o'clock. So that's the current timing because the cell is moving pretty quickly towards the northwest at about 35 miles per hour. And I do want to point out, it's not confirmed. We haven't had any spotters confirm a possible funnel cloud or tornado. What it is Doppler indicated, and we're currently starting to see some rotation across the area. So again, this thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado. And if you do live in the area, again, take cover now, find that interior room, just be smart, well away from windows. Best places are your closet, your bathroom, get in the tub, cover with a mattress. Other areas could be your laundry room, something like that, but all on the first floor. Try to find a place as far away from windows as possible. And again, I do want to point out also, don't be sitting on your front porch watching these storms come in, because you may not see it. Again, these are going to be rain wrapped. As you saw so far, and we showed you those tower cam pictures that we could barely see about a quarter mile from where our tower cam is. So again, that doesn't give you a lot of lead time if there is a potential tornado on the ground. So again, be smart out there, and once again, just be very vigilant that these could be very shallow tornadoes. Again, what we are, yeah, pop up, if you can, Director, pop up, there you go. Look at this is the traffic camera from I-10 and Gross Tate, and you can see how dark those skies are right now. Again, I'm not exactly sure which way it's looking, but you can see kind of just around the bend right there, you can see all that blinding rainfall. Again, so drivers are going to run into a wall. All right, what do we got here? We've got a new tornado warning, and this one now is for Ascension. So this one's a little bit further south, and you can see here, this is a new tornado warning. Let's see here, let's pop this one up. And the new one now is for Ascension, East Baton Rouge, Iberville, West Baton Rouge, until about 3 o'clock. So we got this one for another 30 minutes out there. In the areas of greatest concern, we're talking St. Gabriel. We're talking anything along Nicholson Drive heading out towards St. Gabriel. So you got the LSU golf course out there. You've got all those subdivisions currently being developed out there. We're talking Plaquemine and Gardere until about 2:50. Addis at about 2:55, so moving across the river just a little bit north of the Plaquemine area. Again, this is Doppler indicated. This is not a confirmed tornado, but there still is that potential for rotating clouds that could quickly spawn some isolated tornadoes in the area. And you can see how these storms are just continuing to fire off these individual tornadoes out there. And again, that again was one of the greatest concerns. And as mentioned, we were talking about that cell just around Sorrento. And as you see here, they've now issued a tornado warning, the National Hurricane Center, for that one a little bit further southeast down I-10, moving just up Airline Highway. Here's the latest information on that new tornado warning. And as you see here, that's for Ascension and for St. James Parish now. The areas and the cities for under concern right now, the Sorrento area until about 2:15. We're talking Gonzales and Prairieville until about 3 p.m. Again, this is Doppler indicated, nothing confirmed, but what we are seeing is the possibility of some current rotation on, well, again, this is just maybe making its way, kind of translating to the surface, so just along airline, highway. And again, if you live anywhere underneath one of these red cones, and I'm just going to back off a little bit just to kind of show you that we've got a multitude of tornado warnings right across the capital area, from St. James and Ascension Parish down I-10 heading your way towards New Orleans to East Baton Rouge right now, into West Baton Rouge. We've got another one that is right across the river, and that one is from West Baton Rouge up into Point Capee Parish. We've got another one a little bit further south of there, and that extends right across the Atchafalaya Basin, and you can see that's mainly for the eastern edge, right around Livonia. That is another tornado warning. We've also got that new one that just popped up from St. Gabriel. That also goes back to the LSU Lakes and the LSU campus and across the river over Bruley, Addis, and Plaquemine of utmost concern. All right, let's go back to the tower cam of Gross Tate, and you can see exactly what's happening right now. We were talking about that blinding rainfall, and there currently is that traffic camera. So traffic going eastbound and westbound across the Atchafalaya Basin. We're talking right across areas. As soon as you get to the Whiskey Bay Bridge, yeah, visibility drops to nearly nothing. So, and you can see how those trees are currently swirling out there. Again, I want to take a closer look myself. And yeah, just potential. Again, you can see how they're swirling out there. So we're at least getting some possible wind gusts, maybe, again, this is just estimated, in my opinion, probably about 30 to 40, maybe 45 miles per hour in that area. So again, this is just from us looking at the tower cam, but at least it looks like currently the visibility is finally starting to improve a little bit. But again, as you see, that band continues getting back to the Doppler radar. You can see that extends for quite a few miles back out into the Gulf of Mexico. So again, this is kind of what we're currently dealing with as we speak. And again, this is a concern because you're going into an environment where there is a ton of shear. And that's why we quickly spawn these isolated tornadoes. We're talking very heavy rainfall at the same time. And let me see if I can jump back to the rainfall rates just to also give you an idea of what we're currently talking about. We're currently, the entire viewing area is underneath a flash flood watch. But again, so far we haven't had any flash flood warnings because these storms are at least moving at a good haul at about 20, 30, 40 miles per hour. But as you see here, you're kind of looking at some of these areas, and just to give you an idea, let's kind of break it down. You can see some of these pockets in the purple. We're talking 3 inches per hour. And again, these are just radar estimates, but that still is very concerning because that's where you worry about flash flooding. You worry about those areas that are typically prone to seeing flooding. That again is what happens. These are all low-lying areas across the river, and we know how quickly that water starts to filter into our roads, our bayous, and our streams. And again, this is just the first wave. So I just want to point that out as we continue to move forward. You notice that cell moving towards Krotz Springs, and you can see even here, let's get in a little bit of get the rainfall rate. You can see again about 2.5 inches, maybe even greater than that per hour. So at least 2 inches per hour in some of these individual pockets, a little bit southeast or southwest of Maringouin. And again, we were looking at the tower cam, and just to give you an idea, this is what we were talking about. That camera pointing westbound, nearly 3.5 inches of rain per hour. So again, that is very difficult to see at this point. So again, let's kind of back it off a little bit, and you'll see that we continue to see more heavy downpours even across the downtown area. Let's get back towards where the state capitol currently is, and they're currently seeing some very intense rainfall. Obviously, we're talking at about 2, maybe 3 inches per hour. So again, that whole area could potentially flood. We could be seeing some pounding water. We know right around that bend, obviously, is where it always starts to flood. Right by the governor's mansion, you can see right here just south of Chippewa. Be on high alert for some potential water kind of ponding in that area. Again, later on, also, again, it depends on how quickly those pumps are going, but we're going to have to watch that area. So 110 southbound, just around the bend, it's a low-lying area. It usually floods just around the Capitol. Let me see here. Jasmine, what's the latest? Tornado watch now issued?
Yes.
All right. Can you pop it up on Max 2 to show people what we're looking at right now? Oh, it hasn't updated yet? All right, so get back to the big picture. I'm going to jump you back in here just to show you again, kind of walk what we're talking through. Now it says tornado watch until 9 p.m. this evening. Let me repeat, 9 p.m. this evening. That's over 6 more hours across the area. So again, this is definitely going to be a continued issue moving forward. You can see that we've got those tornadoes continuing to spawn up along this first little feeder band as it makes its way in. Big picture, again, you got to see where the center of Laura currently sits out there. Still looks like you can see here a pretty massive eye with this system, at least. Again, you see it kind of, again, right now with Doppler scans that far out in the Gulf, you're only getting the tops of the clouds. You're not really getting to the meat of this storm. So, but again, still looks pretty substantial. You can see all the banding features right around this system. You can see where that inner wall is. You can see that very heavy band around it. And then as we jump back out a little bit, you can see also that we got a couple more bands starting to come in. And you see also right here, here's another band kind of moving in, here's another one, and then obviously this one that's been the one spawning tornadoes. Again, we're going into an environment that's extremely high in shear, and that's why it doesn't take much to kind of spawn these isolated tornadoes out there. Let me get back. I want to take off these watches and warnings here. Let me get rid of, well, that's all under part of it, just so you can kind of see what we're looking at here. And you'll see that, again, that first little band extends already from the Lake Charles area, from the Beaumont area, almost back into the Houston area, and that goes pretty much parallel to I-10, and you can see that band continues to pump water in from the Gulf of Mexico, that unlimited supply, and that goes all the way down to Grand Isle. So again, we're talking a pretty steady flow of water as we continue to move inland. All right, what do we got now, Jasmine?
Ascension, Assumption, EVR.
All right. Can you go to Max 2 for a second, Director, and I'll show you what we're talking about right now. And here is that new tornado watch until 9 p.m. So that includes pretty much our entire viewing area from I-55 to the Mississippi River. Anything past that point does become the Lake Charles area, which I do want to point, Lake Charles, the National Weather Service right there, actually had to evacuate. They're close enough to the coastline. So Brownsville, Texas is currently taking over all of their administrative duties at this point. So again, potentially there is the threat that if you live right along that line across the Atchafalaya Basin, if you live down in Pierre Part, if you live around Lake Verret, somewhere area like that, if you live in Belrose, there is that potential that they could be starting to issue that watch a little bit further west as we move into the evening hours. Okay, so again, when you look at the big picture out there, and let's see if I pop up, again, the warnings again. Let's see here. Give me 1 second here. Where's ours? Okay, so again, looking at the warnings right now, and as I put this into motion, you'll just continue to see that we've got tornado warnings all across the area. Let's once again jump into every one. If you're just joining us right now, you can see that, again, this is just the first wave. Point Capee, West Baton Rouge until about 2:45 across the area. The areas of concern right now are the cities of, it's a little bit past Irwinville right now, but Port Allen could be, well, moving northeast now up Port Allen about 35 miles per hour. And it looks like, again, we're talking moving towards False River area and New Roads. The one back here across the capital area, East Baton Rouge and West Baton Rouge, that is a tornado warning now until about 2:45. The cities of greatest concern right now. Again, this is all Doppler indicated, nothing confirmed quite yet. And it looks like, again, we're talking mainly the downtown area and Port Allen with that cell. Then kind of backing off a little bit, and you see as we do back off a little bit, that we are watching more cells. That one back down in right around the Gonzales area, so you're talking the Ascension area, and you can see even this individual cell right now. That one right now is still in effect until about 3 o'clock this afternoon for about another 15 minutes. And if you live in the Sorrento area, the Gonzales area, even a little bit further up the road near the Whitehall area, and probably just around Prairieville and Santima, again, just be very vigilant that those storms could be rotating. I also do want to point out that those other storms out there will kind of go around just because there's so more. Well, it does look like, hey, they have dropped 2 of those tornado warnings, and those were for the ones mainly north of I-12, which is good. So, and I-10, except for the one a little bit to the east of us on the northern edge of the Atchafalaya Basin. And as you see here, again, let's kind of get the details of this guy. And you can see the one around Iberville. So that's the one crossing I-10 just past Gross Tate and then moving towards the Rosedale area. And we're talking Livonia, Lottie, and Ferdoche probably within the next 15 minutes kind of getting hit by this potential system. Right now it's kind of located over the Rama area and the Krotz Springs area, and it's moving right now towards the northwest at about 35 miles per hour. You can see again the one a little bit further south, and we'll dig into that one. You see that one for Ascension, East Baton Rouge, Iberville, and West Baton Rouge Parish. That is a tornado warning now until 3 o'clock this afternoon. And that is also for areas, again, mainly south of I-10. But when you look at the big picture out there, we're talking the cities that should be worried right now: Plaquemine, Gardere area, LSU, and then right across the river, Addis, and even the downtown area right around 315. So we're talking mainly south of I-10. So again, we could have some situations right there. This is Doppler indicated, nothing confirmed, but there is that potential that something could be pushing its way through the area. Obviously, again, you got to remember that these could be rain-wrapped tornadoes, and therefore, obviously, they could be not visible. And that is obviously one of the biggest issues that you kind of run into with these type of systems. Maybe not the most strong tornadoes, but just enough to do some damage, enough to create some flying debris that could go through your window. So again, if you have big bay windows, don't be sitting next to those windows. Find something that's a little bit sturdier in the center of your house. Bathrooms are great because a lot of times they don't have windows, and they've got those big old sturdy bathtubs that you can crawl into and cover yourself up with a very thick blanket like a quilt, or you can even throw a mattress on top of yourself for extra caution and mainly for extra safety measures out there. So again, you're seeing tornado warnings quickly popping up across the area. Again, we're watching them closely because, again, they're most likely going to continue to spawn over the next couple hours. And as you see here, if we can once again, Jasmine, what you got? Can you pop it up, the tornado watch once again, just to kind of outline exactly where that tornado watch currently sits across the area? And the main thing to point out is that it does cover a large area. And as you see there, they've kind of dropped out because Brownsville is kind of taking over the responsibility for Lake Charles. Otherwise, that whole area would be highlighted yellow. Jasmine, go out a little bit further. You see that Shreveport has also picked up that tornado watch area until about 9 p.m. this evening. So again, all right, it just filled in. So again, they're catching up a little bit out there because, again, they are switching responsibilities out there. And again, that's a big task because when you're talking about an area that you know around the Lake Charles area, and you got to uproot everything and move, and then somebody who doesn't know the area as much, again, they're trying to filter in that information as quickly as possible. But you can see pretty much almost the entire state, excluding, it looks like, the city of New Orleans, or in fact, well, actually Jefferson Parish is currently underneath it. Taking a look at the camera right now. And then, again, yeah, St. Bernard is not. And it looks like mainly the North Shore is the only area that is currently excluded from that tornado watch area, and the Monroe area currently excluded from that current watch across the area. So as you see here, and if we can, I do want to pop up, can you throw up that camera right here? Go back to the traffic cameras, and I just want to show you, again, we've got a lot of traffic still heading down I-10. You're talking just around Rama, and all of that right there is eastbound traffic. So that is all heading eastbound. You can see the roads are wet. You can see that water ponding currently in the middle. And all of that traffic is going to continue to start picking up over the next few hours just because that's all evacuation traffic. So with these feeder bands continuing to filter their way across I-10, the heavy rain is not going to stop, and the roads are going to continue to be rather slick over the next couple hours. So again, if you have family and friends currently making their way in from the Lake Charles area, people moving in from the coast, from Cameron Parish to Vermilion Parish, to moving inland, we're going to be seeing a lot of these areas, a lot of parishes kind of building their way northbound as we speak. What's that? Take down the red box. All right, taking down the red box. Okay. Main thing is here, you can see big picture out there, and you're looking at some of these tornadoes, and we'll kind of zoom out just a little bit right now, and you can see it looks like right now we do have a new tornado warning out there. And again, this one is now, let me get the latest information on this guy, and that one's a little bit to the east of the Zachary area. That's for East Baton Rouge, Point Capee, West Baton Rouge, now until about 3:15. So that now includes the cities of, again, let me clear that off quick. Okay, so we're talking these cities of New Roads, Morganza at about 3:15. Hazard, this is Doppler indicated, potential for, again, flying debris in that area until about 3:15. So when you kind of look at the big picture right now, yeah, we're watching a lot of different areas out there. And you can see that we're currently in our viewing area alone. We have 4 tornado warnings, and I think over the last, say, about hour now, we've had probably about, 6 to 7 tornado warnings across the area. So you can see this is going to be rapid fire. Boom, 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 boom. As you see here, rapid fire. Another one just popped up across the area. And this new tornado warning right now, Doppler indicated, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado right around the French settlement area, just around Gonzales, moving northeast now at 35 miles per hour. So again, potentially rain ramp systems. Do not be, do not be chasing these potential tornadoes. Find that safe spot. Again, that's the best thing that you can currently do in this type of situation. You can see this cell is currently this one that is moving through the Ascension and Livingston area and eventually into East Baton Rouge until about 3:15 as we move forward. So again, overall, again, we got those tornado warnings currently kind of popping up rapid fire across the area. So that one a little bit south of I-10 still remains a concern, and at this point you're probably getting an emergency alert if you do live in the capital area, because you do fall underneath that red cone. That includes the Shenandoah area, the Jones Creek area, moving across I-10. You're talking all those areas just a little bit past that at this point. So I-10 continues to see those some thunderstorms fire up, and they're all capable of some isolated tornadoes out there. And what I do want to point out is the reason they've issued that tornado watch is because overall, I mean, we're going into an environment that's extremely a shared environment right now. So it doesn't really take much to fire off these individual tornadoes. You're talking also a tropical air mass at this point. So they're very juiced up, and that's why we're also seeing some very intense rainfall rates across the area. And again, this is just that first wave kind of making its way through the viewing area. I kind of want to back off here and just to kind of show you what I'm looking at too. And you'll notice, as I continue to move forward, that yes, we're going to continue to see that heavy rainfall kind of filter in another band after another band starting to drive through. What do we get?
Expired for Iberville and Point Capee.
Okay, thanks, Jasmine. All right, so we just got word that the tornado warning for Iberville and Point Capee, so that's the one just around False River and New Roads, they are allowing to expire. Again, they're not seeing too much rotation anymore. Again, some weaker scans kind of moving in that general area. So let's, again, kind of give you the wide shot right now, and you can see that overall we're continuing to see these isolated tornadoes spawn across much of the region. And as you see, again, that feeder band starting to filter in as we continue to drive further and further south. So again, currently in the area we now have, let's see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 5 tornado warnings still in effect at this point. And all of them probably until about 3:15, 3:30, big picture at this point. Okay, let's see what else we got going here, and just kind of give you some idea on the winds too with this system. You can see already we've had some reports of winds along the coastline up to about at one point over 40 miles per hour. So again, that's again very strong. 20 right now in the capital area, 30 in New Orleans, some gusts out there. And again, as you see mainly across the area, let's take a look at that. Again, those were sustained winds. These are wind gusts. 31 in Houma, 33 in Belle Chase, just shy of 40 in New Orleans. at the Metro Airport in Kenner, and we're still talking 25 in the Baton Rouge area, 33 currently in the Opelousas area. So you can see there are some stronger pockets currently in the mix. And I do want to get back to Laura for just a second, just to kind of give you the latest information right now. We're still looking at winds at 140 miles per hour. We're talking potentially, if it continues with this track, this will be the strongest hurricane, I repeat, the strongest hurricane to make landfall in the state of Louisiana. And you're probably saying to yourself, what about Camille? That was a Category 5. Camille actually made landfall in Bay St. Louis. It did not make landfall in Louisiana. So as you notice here, we've got a very large eye. We're still seeing some very good signs of intensification out there. And maybe this afternoon, we're not that far. We only got to jump about another 17 miles per hour to put us at Category 5 strength. So when you think about that, we're still seeing intensification within this cell. When you start looking at it, again, this is a monster storm. We're talking hurricane force winds extending 60 miles from the center. We're talking tropical storm force winds 175 to 200 miles from the center. And you can still see it kind of bubbling right there. I just want to zoom in a little bit just to show you what we're really looking at this inner eye. You can kind of see these little bit of vortices kind of right around where that central eye, and still kind of an indication that that wall almost where you can kind of see a little bit of a stadium effect probably. Maybe when they kind of go in with the recent scan. And Ashley, what's going on with, are they actually flying through the system right now? Have you got the latest reports?
Let's see.
Again, they probably are before we get an update at 4 o'clock this evening. So Hurricane Hunter could be out there already kind of getting some indications, but you still see how it's bubbling up around the center of the circulation. You can see that inflow driving right around the center eye. It's a very wide eye at this point. But yeah, we're seeing it grow right in front of our eyes. And yeah, that's obviously very scary. It's a scary situation for a lot of people along southwest Louisiana and for portions of eastern Texas as this system drives in. Because again, they said catastrophic damage. We're talking life-threatening storm surge and unsurvivable storm surge is what again, that's what they're quoting the National Hurricane Center. So you don't really get that often when they start to put out alerts. Again, let's see if we can kind of back up. Are they currently scanning through or flying through the storm?
Mm-hmm. They're
yeah,
in flight
right now they're in flight going through the storm at this point. And here, let me see. I'm going to back off a little bit. Get back, just get back to those warnings out there right now. And you'll see, obviously, the concern right here is when you get back to those warnings, this is our current impact at this point. And really what we're concerned mainly about is those little tornadoes that spawn off of these feeder bands, and they're going to just continue to be rapid fire like they have been this afternoon. And if you notice, I would say for about the last 2 hours, that band of rain has not moved, which is also kind of alarming. You see, we're going to put it in motion right now, and that's where we have to kind of focus our attention on possible flash flooding across the area. You can see as we zoom out that feeder band extends, and again, it's one of the outside ones, but extends well into the Gulf of Mexico on the eastern side of Laura, and then drives a little bit south of New Orleans, right down I-10, back into the capital area, and we're going to start to see some of that heavier rainfall move in, and then you can see that same band also kind of sits right along I-10 and builds up into the Opelousas area. You can see that more of those showers extend north of Lake Charles. So again, they're not seeing the immediate impacts of it quite yet, but for those who are en route out of the Lake Charles area, out of the Lafayette area, from Abbeville, if you're tuning in from areas just along the coastline, if you're talking from areas around Franklin and Morgan City, if you're talking New Iberia, if you're coming in from Avery Island, if you're coming in from Kaplan, Gaydon, Port Arthur, again, all those areas, again, current evacuation routes are pretty much heading eastbound, but you're going to be running, obviously, into some heavy rainfall bands. Now, the good news is if you've got past the capital area, things should start to improve the quicker you get to about I-55. So once you actually get eastbound of there, overall conditions will improve greatly, obviously. And again, let's jump back in, and you're still seeing, I'm going to once again kind of do the roundabout across our capital area. Right now, there still is a tornado warning in place now for West Baton Rouge Parish and East Baton Rouge Parish, and that is mainly for the cities, New Roads and Morganza until about 3:15, so about another 15 minutes. And it does look like they have just dropped 2 of those warnings.